We'll be starting the Planning Commission meeting shortly. So Chair, we're ready to start when you are.
If we can get it, there we go. Yeah.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for the reading. The statement of values.
As we gather, we humbly seek blessings upon this meeting. May we act with strength, courage, and the will to perform our obligations and duties to our people with justice to all. Let us seek wisdom so that we may act in the best interest of our people, our neighbors, and our country. All this we ask so that we may serve our community with fairness and respect, putting their needs before all.
Okay, thank you. Sit. Have a seat. Well, we have one commissioner not here, but we do read the roll call first, and then
Yeah, let's do roll call. Commissioner Bhatnagar has notified us that he's unable to attend tonight. Commissioner Biagini. Here. Commissioner Cherukuru.
Here.
Commissioner Wang.
Here.
Commissioner Buza. Chair Salame.
here.
Commissioner Crutchlow.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, since we don't have a commissioner, does anybody wish to make a motion on excusing him?
Move to excuse Commissioner Bhatnagar.
We'll do a roll call vote. Commissioner Biagini. Yes. Commissioner Cherukuru.
Yes.
Commissioner Wang.
Yes.
Commissioner Buza. Yes. Chair Salame.
Yes.
Commissioner Crutchlow.
Yes.
Thank you, and the motion passed.
Thank you. It's going to be a record-setting commission meeting.
Don't jinx it.
Don't jinx it. Secretary Crutchlow, can you read the commission procedures?
Public hearings are conducted by the chair in accordance to the following procedures. The chair of the commission directs all activities during the hearing. All comments shall be addressed to the commission. Any items on this agenda may be continued to a subsequent hearing. Applicants will be allotted up to 10 minutes to present and justify proposals. Following staff presentations of an item, other speakers will be given up to 2 minutes. The applicant is allotted up to 5 minutes for rebuttal of comments. No additional comments shall be accepted upon the close of public hearing, although the commission reserves the right to direct questions to any speaker on any matter. Special procedures time limits may be applied to any items as prescribed by the chair. Appeal of commission actions must be filed in writing within 7 calendar days.
All right. Copies of the current agenda and staff reports for each of the items on the agenda are available from the Planning Division office on the Friday afternoon preceding the meeting and available online in continuances and exceptions. As part of the meeting allows for applicants, members of the public, or other interested parties to request an item be continued without hearing, withdrawn, or taken out of order. We have 2 items under continuances. I guess we move directly to those. Is there any other inputs? No? Okay. The 2 items under continuance is continuance of an action on an environmental impact and mitigation monitoring and reporting program for the planned development rezone vesting tentative subdivision map and development agreement for the Mission Point by Kylie mixed-use project located at 3005 Democracy Way to allow the development of up to 1,800 multifamily residential units, 3 million square feet of office, research and development R&D, up to 100,000 square feet of commercial retail and open space. Do we need to vote on these individually, or?
Yes, please. And at this time, it would be appropriate to declare the public hearing open.
Okay, well then let's open this as a public hearing and hear if anyone has any comments on this item now, but realizing that it won't be heard in detail until when? October 23rd.
Mr. Chair, in this circumstance, I think the direction we usually give is if there's anybody present who cannot be at the October 23rd meeting, they are invited to speak tonight. But since the hearing will be held in full, you're encouraged to hold your comments until the next meeting, if possible.
That's when you'll be heard with the most impact. So is there any comments tonight that can, or that cannot be held until then? Or on the phone?
No, we don't have any comments. Thank you.
Okay, so I guess we should vote on that continuance.
A motion to continue would be in order.
Move to continue?
Second.
And for clarification, that's to a date certain, October 23rd.
October 23rd. It should be possibly in the notes.
The motion was made by Commissioner Crutchlow. Who made the second?
Musa, Mari.
Thank you. Commissioner Buzza, thank you. Commissioner Biagini,
Yes.
Commissioner Cherukuru,
Yes.
Commissioner Wang,
Yes.
Commissioner Buzza,
Yes.
Chair Salame,
Yes.
Commissioner Crutchlow.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passed.
Okay, passed unanimously with the abstention of our missing commissioner, I assume.
Yes.
Second continuance is the cleanup action for the zoning map 4 for contiguous parcels located at 3108 and 3118 McKinley Drive. Is this continuing to the same meeting?
No, it hasn't been decided.
This is, the request here is to continue to a date uncertain. Because we don't know when it is, we're going to renotice it. There's no need to open the public hearing. Simply a motion to continue would be in order.
This will be renoticed, so it's more than a week.
I move to recommend that the Planning Commission continue the request to a date uncertain for which will be notified by mail to property owners within 300 feet of the project site.
Second.
Just a friendly clarification, if not a request. It says to be noticed to property owners within 300 feet of the project site. We've always deliberated whether the 300 feet is sufficient. Is the mail out possible to be, and I'm open to feedback. Does the commission recognize that this is only for 300 feet notification?
I recognize it, I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, I guess they haven't passed it There's
May
supposed to
not.
be like 1,000 feet. We can make it
We
1,000
can make
feet.
it whatever.
Let's make it 1,000 feet in each direction.
Okay, okay, so I will modify my motion for 1,000 feet instead of 300 if staff has an opinion about that.
And my second holds.
It's okay to chime in if this isn't a
This
suggestion
is
that's outside of the normal.
entirely within your discretion. I will just simply mention that, at least tentatively on the agenda for the next meeting, is the outreach policy at which the radiuses will be discussed, and you can opine all you want. But for tonight, feel free. 1,000?
I got a good question, if you don't mind. Didn't we go over this already once? Why are we still doing the
It's
300?
agendized for the
Yeah.
next meeting.
For the council meeting, so it hasn't been brought up to council yet?
You have several times now asked us to bring the outreach policy to you. It is currently scheduled for the next meeting. In the meantime, we are simply following the code requirements. So
Right.
that's why it says 300 feet here, but you are empowered to change that. And at the next meeting, you are very empowered to tinker with all the radiuses.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So I have a follow-up question. Is either of those distances sufficient to include residents, or is that strictly going to include other industrial sites?
That's a very interesting factual question that I believe our planning manager is going to answer shortly.
Okay. I'm sure she has all these pieces of information at the tip of her fingers.
All right, thank you for the question. So this site is actually a duplex. It's in a residential neighborhood. This item is just a cleanup action to make the general plan land use designation and the zoning designation match to reflect the existing duplex use on the site. So as you're all aware, we adopted a zoning map recently. We found after that map was adopted this inconsistency in that the parcel wasn't designated as a duplex as it's existingly being used. So this is just a cleanup. The 300 feet would get the residences across the street to the left and right, and it abuts at a commercial buildings.
So this may actually be a situation, oh yeah, I've seen, I posed my question poorly. I was thinking industrial. I was thinking, is it going to impact mostly businesses or mostly other residentials? And since you're saying it's, adjacent to residentials.
Correct.
So 300 in this case might be sufficient, but I think we would like to set a better precedent. Is the motion reasonable at 1,000, or would 500 work? This is a value judgment. I want to ask the commissioners, we're trying to set not a precedent, but a reasonable distance so that mailing costs and craziness doesn't kick in.
I think 1,000 feet is more, let's stick with that precedent, so that way, in the future, we don't have to then keep saying, well, 500 feet is probably not enough, or 300. So let's make it, let's keep it at 1,000 feet, and that's still not that much of a distance to when you're doing a project or a big remodeling that may affect the rest of the neighborhood or so on.
So, Chair, if you want, I can share my screen
Yeah, please do.
and show you just a map, a
Yeah,
quick
got it with Google
back
Maps,
of the napkin.
And actually,
Google
Colorado
Map.
and McKinley, they're doing that
Hopefully you can see it.
model on a house, they're doing it.
Okay, so the distance that I have right now marked out is 500 feet, so it'd be twice that. Or no, sorry, that's 1,000 feet, a little over 1,000 feet, my apologies.
Yeah, I was
Right
going
there.
I was doing the mental math.
Yeah, sorry.
Like,
So it would be that radius.
Sounds good. Someone to-
We'll argue the fine points next time, but
Sure.
I'm not the motion maker. I'm just,
All right, I'll leave my motion as stated.
Okay. I second the motion then if it hasn't been seconded.
I think we have a second already by Commissioner Biagini.
So the motion was made by Commissioner Crutchlow, seconded by Commissioner Biagini, to approve the continuance. And are you also saying to include a 1,000-foot noticing? Okay.
It's still to date uncertain, so by that time we may have the actual ordinance for,
We could possibly adjust.
yeah,
We'll use whichever number is greater at that point.
yeah.
Mailed to the entire state. Okay, so then we need to do the vote.
Commissioner Biagini,
Yes.
Commissioner Chair Kuru,
Aye.
Commissioner Wang,
Yes.
Commissioner Buza,
Yes.
Chair Salame,
Yes.
Commissioner Crutchlow.
Yes.
Very good, the motion passed. Thank you.
You only gotta come up with you, Mr. Zero.
Okay, so new announcements. The Planning Commission has 7 members.
Consent calendar.
Well, no, we're on this, it's before that. Thank you. I appreciate the help. Planning Commission has 7 members. Whenever the full commission is not present, applicants have the option to continue their item to another meeting. That's just a point of information. Now we'll move to the consent calendar. And Secretary Crutchlow, will you please read the procedure for the consent calendar?
Thank you. The procedure for the consent calendar is as follows. Consent calendar items may be enacted, approved, or adopted by one motion unless requested to be removed by anyone for discussion or explanation. If any member of the Planning Commission staff, the applicant, or a member of the public wishes to comment on a consent calendar item or would like the item to be heard on a regular agenda, make this request now. Items listed on the consent calendar with associated file numbers constitute public hearing items. And we have item 1A, Planning Commission meeting minutes of September 11th, 2024.
I will need to abstain because I was not here.
I move to approve the Planning Commission meeting minutes.
Second.
Okay.
The motion was made by Commissioner Chair Kuru, seconded by Commissioner Buza to approve the meeting minutes, to approve this item. Commissioner Biagini, you have said that you are abstaining. Commissioner Chair Kuru,
Aye.
Commissioner Wang,
Yes.
Commissioner Buza,
Yes.
Chair Salame,
Yes.
Commissioner Crutchlow.
Yes.
Very good, the motion passed. Thank you.
Okay, so I do want to comment, though, I appreciate staff for being able to catch up and get these meeting minutes done. I know that it's been a challenge with the staffing levels to make sure that these are all caught up and done, but I appreciate that. Moving on to public presentations. Are there any members of the public that would like to briefly address the commission on any item not on the agenda? We have many people here. I figured somebody must be here to speak about something. Did you
Give me just one moment.
put in a speaker card or?
Yes. Mr. Robles, you'll have 2 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Good evening, Chairman Salame and fellow planning commissioners. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Eli Robles, and I am a field representative for Carpenter's Local 405 in the South Bay. I'm here to address a critical need for labor standards in the upcoming projects planned for the beautiful city of Santa Clara. Whether the project is public or private, labor standards should never be overlooked. A fundamental standard is healthcare for construction workers. Construction is one of the most dangerous occupations in the U.S., and I find it deeply concerning that healthcare is often not guaranteed for those putting their safety on the line every day. Workers deserve to know that their health and well-being are prioritized. Another essential labor standard that should be adopted is the requirement to hire workers from an accredited apprenticeship program. These programs help cultivate the next generation of skilled workers, ensuring that the workforce remains strong, knowledgeable, and prepared for the challenges ahead. It's not about building projects, but building future for workers. Santa Clara has the opportunity to get this right. I am fully committed to attending every meeting necessary to remind this body of the importance of labor standards. I urge you to consider these measures seriously. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Are there any other speakers tonight? Okay, not hearing any. We can actually move on to public hearings. you like to read the empty list of public hearings?
List is empty.
This is empty. We have no public hearings tonight. So this actually will be probably a record-setting meeting. But we do have some things to talk about after public hearings. Since public hearings are open officially, even though there's no items, I don't believe we need to close.
No, but thank you for checking.
Just making sure we're on procedure. No public speakers, no need to close public hearing. No deliberations. We're skipping way ahead to basically the end game for this meeting, announcements and other items, and I know there are commissioners here that have some things they wanted to talk about. So are there any staff level announcements?
I do have one item for the commission. A majority of you, I'm assuming, if not all of you, were emailed by a constituent regarding a violation for a fence at a single-family home, and there were a number of questions regarding the process for this fence that was in violation of the zoning code. And staff has been working with this particular person, and they have filed for a variance application. The Planning Commission is the decision maker on variance applications, so that will be coming forward to you probably in the next few months.
Okay, so for disclosure, I have had an email conversation with the resident. No encouragement or discouragement was offered, only an acknowledgement of the problem. I believe others have also, but we have not communicated on it. Yes.
I know this seems a little silly, but I just want to verify, since I got a call at my work phone number, which is not listed, the city does not give out work phone numbers or personal cell
No.
phones or personal emails.
It was directed to the city website where it lists all the commissioners' emails.
That's what I recommended the individual do when I was called.
Yep.
Thank you.
And I will also add the disclaimer that I was also contacted via LinkedIn, and I did leave a voicemail back to the individual asking for the details, but no further communication. So that's why I reached out to staff as well to have it brought here. Thank you, staff, for confirming the process that this request will go through. And again, we were all CC'd, and I'm sure council member is also aware of it.
And just for one more point of clarification, this person was issued a notice of violation. That is just a notice that they have something that is not consistent with the code, and they've been asked to fix it. So we've extended that since the application has been filed, so they won't be charged a fee or anything until the application makes its way through the process.
And that's an anomaly and a thoughtful consideration. Is that the process usually?
That is the process. So if you have a code violation in the city, you get a notice of violation
Okay.
describing what the violation is, what you can do to fix it, who to talk to, and you are given, 30 days to fix it or more if it's necessary. And then if it goes on so long and doesn't ever get resolved, then you get a citation, which comes with a fee.
That's very helpful for the public to know and understand that, the notice comes with a lot
Absolutely.
of consideration.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
We want to bring people into compliance, not charge them fees.
Okay.
I also was contacted, but I went a little bit further. I went over to look at it, just drove by. Who called in the violation on that project?
That's anonymous.
That's confidential.
Yes.
So I was going to say, I noticed the house right next to it had the same identical thing, and actually one of my neighbors has the same
There are a
thing.
lot of
So
fences
I'm
in the
going,
city of Santa
"Wait a
Clara that
minute,
do not
what's
comply
going
with
on
our
here?"
code.
Right. So if you go down any, a few streets down, you can always see some violation
So we
that
have
is there.
to be careful
Yeah.
not to discuss it too much, but I
Yeah,
understand.
let's
it.
not say anything else.
Well, what I like to do is I would like to also say that I saw the place, and I did talk to them, and I said, being on the commission, I can't give you any advice except to go down to the city.
Right.
And talk to them, and they'll be very reasonable with you and bring it up as a variance.
Yep.
So that, and I said, that's all I said to the lady. I said,
Yeah.
go
So,
ahead and talk to them, and if you have any problems, just walk in, and that'd probably be your best bet.
As advice for others, if you have conversations with the residents, it's probably wise to CC Leslie as our point of contact, because then she can recognize when the conversations are at risk of Brown Act violations
Going the wrong
and
way.
other issues.
Yeah, that's why I told the person that called, please let me direct you to City Hall for your conversation.
And I'm also sure you probably all received contacts from Councilman Park.
No.
Yeah.
No? Yes. Councilman Park also is championing the issue and sent out a contact on that to basically everybody individually, I believe. So,
Yeah, I received the email also. Yeah, I visited the site. Yeah, talked to the owner. Yeah.
it's not unusual and it's certainly fine, but it's as long as we're not conversing about it amongst ourselves. Is there a chance that this will be agendized for any reason, or is it just simply going through the city process now?
So it'll be on a planning commission agenda in the near future.
Variance
Yeah,
application.
the planning commission is the decision maker for a variance application.
Okay, good. Good. It will be addressed. Thank you. That's really is there anything else from the announcements or other items anyone else had to comment on? How was your trip?
Yeah.
Not long enough.
Understood. I guess I should have waited for commissioner travel and training reports. Is there any requests for attending meetings, trainings?
Yes, I did. The APA at Riverside. Oh, my first time. Amazing. Meet a lot of young planners, experienced planners. Learned a lot. Two items I have deep impression. One is I actually have a session talking about the wireless tower. I took some picture of the slides. Looks like we are going to have one tower, the AT&T one. At least I learned something. Another one
The
is
one at Redwood City?
in our city, AT&T they have
Redwood City? AT&T Tower?
yeah.
No, I think he means the one that's proposed here that was continued on Benton.
Oh, I see.
Tower on Benton.
Yeah. That session, it happened at the same time as our planning manager session, so I didn't attend her, but I did, saw her. But anyway, that's one. Yeah, another one. They have a mobile workshop. They have a downtown, not Riverside, Redland City. They have a downtown rail station conversion to some mixed building or whatever. Yeah, it's impressive. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks.
Where was the conference again?
Riverside.
Riverside.
Yeah, I highly recommend Commissioner to join the
APA conference.
APA conference. Yes. Oh, this is state. Yeah.
State, yeah. Next year, it's in Monterey. For the California APA conference is in Monterey next year. Mhm.
Yeah.
That'll work.
It's close.
Yeah. 14,000 people. Yeah, it's a big event.
Thank you for attending.
I think this falls under training. There was a conversation at the council meeting yesterday with a continuance by the power company. Basically was going to have a training session on the effects of EM radiation, which the fact that they're going to have a special session on that might be helpful to communicate to those that were concerned about the cell tower, because it will address those specific issues and the expectations and the health concerns. If we could possibly bridge the communication to people that are interested from the planning commission's a future agenda item for the cell tower, because they could benefit from it. Yeah. SVP is going to do a session on it, but it was continued to a time uncertain, unfortunately. So it's going to be
The
hard.
session or the discussion on it?
This future session, it was a continuance of the decision for the routing of the power lines through Santa Clara, through the northern section. Yeah, I can't say that I fully grasped everything. It was a very long session. Okay, so with nothing else in that general area, we're moving on to Director of Community Development reports. Anything on the budget update?
As far as budget, it's actually still at the amount that we showed you at the last meeting. I have not finalized Commissioner Wang's travel expense report, but once we do, that'll be added on here. So you're basically still at $14,815.
Okay. So I can report that I did do a deeper investigation of the possibility of replacement keyboards, and with Elizabeth's help and involvement, came to the conclusion that there aren't any that are worth purchase. The only one that might survive for any length of time was almost $300, and that just feels ridiculous. So I'm gonna, since I'm a touch typist, I know which keys have rubbed off, and I can still find them. So yeah, it's actually a case with a built-in sort of plastic keyboard. This one is falling apart. But I am going to no longer, mind you, if you catch me on it, I'm no longer going to be whining about how this one's falling apart, because I've come to the conclusion that replacing it is just ridiculously expensive, and I'm not in the mood to spend the city's money on that.
Look at that.
Maybe we could have a GoFundMe for you.
GoFundMe. Put a dish out for keyboard contributions. Yeah, for future, it may be better, instead of providing iPads, maybe something like a MacBook Air or some small laptop, because those are in the same price category, but are far more durable and useful probably for the commissioners. Because the pad without a keyboard is ridiculous in a meeting, so. All right, thank you. Upcoming agenda items?
Okay, so our next meeting is rather quickly on October 23rd. You will have the continued item from today for the Mission Point by Kylie project. Also, the continued item on the AT&T Mono Tree on Benton will be on that agenda. Possibly the public outreach policy. We also have a data center and a sign variance scheduled to come to you as well at that meeting. So,
Xander, that was an open declaration of your emotion there.
Well, it's mostly just me thinking about how am I going to get through all those reports in time for that meeting to actually happen. It wasn't about the content, it was just about the quantity.
it may be that the public outreach policy comes to you in December.
Okay, well, we can understand.
Yeah, that will generate a lot of conversation, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, city council actions?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Chair. I have one more item I just wanted to update you all on. Our library is doing a facilities master plan, so they will also be coming to you all with a study session on November 6th is the plan right now, to present some information and get your feedback on their facilities master plan that they're embarking on.
So November 6th is a study session that we should have on our calendars.
Well, November 6th is a normal meeting, but they would be the first item on the agenda as a study session.
Okay.
Okay, it was possibly suggested we could talk about our upcoming questions, but I think that we've agreed that we're going to send them in email.
You were, yes.
Yes. So that might just be a reminder to
Reminder.
people. Please collect your thoughts and email Leslie and possibly Elizabeth as well, what questions questions we wanted to have for future study sessions and for the Silicon Valley Power session. So that there's some heads up, at least, that these items are coming in for us to be able to provide. Yeah, you probably were gone. We're having a upcoming study session on data centers, for one thing. And it would be questions around what data centers, plus any questions you have for possible future study sessions for the commission. And what things are you most interested in hearing about that could apply to our charter?
When is the study session? Do we know for the data center?
Leslie, the study session is different. Is it data centers?
That was, yes, was there was for SVP, you had not only data centers, but just understanding more about
Power.
the power and
It's
in
the
general.
power,
Yeah,
Silicon Valley power consumption.
yeah.
The-
But I'll take all your questions so I can start curating.
Good, so that was covered. Is there any other item that anybody wanted to bring up while we're nearing the adjournment? Okay. Anything? Oh, my gosh.
Adjourn.
Is there a motion to,
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Third.
You didn't say it fast enough.
I assume
All right,
we can do
Nancy,
it
we were excited.
by consensus? Thank you. Any objections? No? Thank you, we're adjourned.
Okay, thank you.
Girls, this is not normal.
No, this is not a normal session. You please should not.